Rabash, Anthony. 9H-5FA, good evening, and 7APW.
I'm checking that shade power settings here.
Yeah, that wasn't bad. That wasn't bad. That was pretty good, actually, and 7APW.
And 7APW 9H-5FA. Jerry, give it in semester. High power yet, ma jistak li ma konġ biex il-mike.
Yeah, naħseb li jekk ġara li ma kontx viċin il-mic, you sound good. You sound good. A bit on the tinny side, nothing, it's pretty good audio, actually. Naħseb qed tuża il-mega illum 9H-5FA and 7APW. Għandi mistoqsija li qabel il-net.
Jerry, yes, sicuro. Depende on repeater platform. 7APW 9H-5FA. I
Biraħ ġematejn, New Year's Eve. Should we skip the net in 2 weeks and start on the second Wednesday of 2026 and 7APW?
And 7APW 9H-5FA. But I was thinking exactly the same thing. Naħseb it's not a bad idea. Essentially, Christmas all the year happens to be GlobalNet. So, but we'll start on the first Wednesday after, so we'll transfer to Wednesday, and we'll start on the first Wednesday after the New Year, which will be Wednesday 7th. Correct, and 7APW 9H-5FA.
Yeah, ma ħares fuq kalendarju, imma jekk Thursday is the 1st, Thursday is the 8th, so Wednesday would be the 7th. That's correct. All right. Mela jekk niftakar I'll announce it on the net, and we'll go from there. And
Thursday. Dik raġuni li Thursday kienet problema, xumma jdumu daqxejk ta' mit-8, u jdumu ġili sa' 8:30, kultant ta' 9. Pero għallu li Wednesday it's easier li jġibu n-nis għall-attività as long as we tell them before. So, issa di ċekka daqxej sejġli fuq il-bicċa l-oħra, fuq il-connectivity ġifiri. Of course, we can do the 4th, the one on the, sorry, the 4th. Kontatlek jien sejtatlek diġa. 7th ikun. Ta' 7th nistgħu nippruvaw nagħmlu bħala dak l-attività kif temna. Imma suppost jkun kollox setjat fl-ħina. And 7APW 9H-5FA. Yeah, Roger. 9H-5FA and 7APW. Yeah,
jekk trid tagħmel checklist ta' xirridu nippreparaw hekk u tibatili I'll read it, and if there's anything else I need to add, we'll add, and then we'll just work off the checklist, which makes it easier. Almenu għalija dejjem kienet easier fil-fatt meta kont naħdem l-aħħar ħaġa li nagħmel l-aħħar 10 minuti qabel nitlaq hija noqgħod bil-qiegħda u nagħmel checklist tal-affarijiet li rrid inbox. U għada l-ewwel ħaġa ta' x'għandi x'nagħmel dakinhar, and it always gets messed up. But you know that's why it's a checklist. One checklist can move to another. All right, 9H-5FA and 7APW.
And 7APW 9H-5FA. Jintaħġa stejbi ġeri għandi app tal Microsoft jisimha To Do, hemm oħrajn Microsoft To Do. Però l-ġobni għal jem għal-Android, hemm għal-iOS, hemm għal-Windows u hemm għal-Linux. U għandi installat kullum kien, dak kollek jissinkjema xulxin. So kif inti xi ħaġa l-Android phone kif nil-xal il-computer jinsibu mek ukoll. Problema hija li missja xi ħaġa u l-darba missjajta tkun lista kompletament ma nkun insejta. So I can never actually clear out that list. Imma aħjar mill-li m'għandix dik il-lista, so allura it's a step forward.
Okay, tajjeb, ma nafx x'ħanu. Oh, I still have 6 minutes. Yeah, tajjeb, ħafna jien nemmen fihom il-listi, and fil-fatt issa ħloqt waħda fuq il-kalendarju and it's color coded. Allura meta niftaħ il-kalendarju jkun hemm a certain amount of entries for the same day, I look at the color and red goes first. So yeah, and it's naradi, the to-do list. I think it's a good idea. And try it out. And of course, normalment ħafna drabi naħdem fuq l-Android jien aktar minn fuq il-PC u tablet, issa tablet miskina għandha bżonn tinbidel, imma insomma m'għandix bżonna daqs kemm kont qabel. Allura il-phone tal-aġeb jagħmel qed jaqdini bħala phone bħala ħafna affarijiet oħra iktar milli hu phone. All right, ħani qaf hawnhekk. So we're gonna be on YouTube, and we're gonna be on 9H1DMR-R-L. Umbat ma nafx jekk trid state xi ħaġa fuq you know what may be coming up soon biex nies li għandhom l-analog VHF jew UHF jistgħu jerġgħu jingħaqdu man-net bħal qabel. 9H-5FA and 7APW.
And 7APW 9H-5FA. Nista' ngħid li se jkun hemm an analog repeater li tkun qabad mal-echo link u se jkun qabad man-net minn nagħti li ma eċetera ħalli ma but sal-7 għandu jkun kollu so issa nara daqsxejn x'hemm bżonn eċetera u ma sal-7 għandu jkun kollu so mbagħad li npoġġi daqsxejn notices fuq il-Facebook pages minn qabel, speċjalment jekk se tkun a different net, a different QTH, etc. U flok nagħmel notice ġata qabel, nagħmel notice minn 5 tim qabel, pereżempju ntella xi updates. Għandi għadha nitzekkja daqsxejn ma' situazzjoni għedin fil-preparazzjoni tal-bicċa xogħol. Nsibni b'W 9H-HAM.
Perfect. Perfect. We should have talked about this when we talked between us a few days ago. That's all right. It still gets done, and that's what's important. All right. Nirringrazzjak ħafna ħabib. Għanna ubiquity. 3 more minutes, yeah, and see who checks in, and we'll go from there. 9H-FA and 7APW.
And 7APW, 9H-FA, USA.
Are we ready, Anthony, on 7APW?
And 7APW, we are on air on YouTube, on 9H-1 DMR repeater, which is on C4 FM, and everything is ready to go.
Thank you very much. QST, excuse me. Let me start that again. QST, QST, QST. This is November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey, net control station for this evening's session of the 9H-HAM GlobalNet. While this is not a directed net, and it's a net that happens every week, every other week, every 2 weeks. Currently on Thursday, we do have some announcements today to make, so please hang around, and we'll get to those right after I take a pause for any emergency or priority traffic. Hearing nothing, I'd like to welcome everybody to the 9H-HAM GlobalNet This will be our last net for the year. Happy holidays to everybody who's listening, whether you are listening on the 9H1 DMR-L link on Echolink, or whether you are listening through C4 FM. You can also listen to us live on the YouTube channel, 9H-HAM. I could give it a call sign, why not, right? And we have some news as to what we hope will be happening within the first month or two of 2026. And apart from wishing everybody happy holidays, I'd like to thank everybody for checking in. I'd like to thank everybody for their support and encouragement. And I'd like to wish everybody a very happy new year. Having said all that, are there any check-ins for the net? November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey.
Nine Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha.
I acknowledge 9 Hotel 5 Fox Alpha. Are there any other check-ins for the net this evening?
And 7APW thinks it's going to be me and you for now. Probably people are out doing shopping or going through Christmas villages or eating or whatever. Christmas starts early here. And 7APW 9H5FA.
Very good, Anthony. 9H5FA and 7APW. Returning, let me take another pause, see if there are any other check-ins for the net. We have some information or business for the net, which we'd like to share with everybody. And we're going to obviously announce it over here and remind everybody that you can hear a recording of this net on the 9H-HAM GlobalNet channel on YouTube. Probably available starting on Friday, which is tomorrow. So let me take another pause. I'd like to thank everybody for checking in whenever they can and supporting us and the net and encouraging us to keep going. This is November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey, taking another pause for check-ins. Okay, hearing nothing, I'd like to pass it to you, Anthony. And I know we have some changes coming up in the new year. An announcement about the next net. And if you don't mind, I'd like to give the mic to you, and so that we can share it with everybody who participates in the nets and who hopefully will continue participating in 2026. 9H5FA with the 9H-HAM Global Net, November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey.
November 2nd, Alpha Papa Whiskey. It's 9H5FA and 9H-HAM GlobalNet. Hi, Jerry. Yeah, so the main changes which we're planning for 2026 are, one will be a change in the day from Thursday to Wednesday. And this change was made because we were told that for several people it is easier to join on a Wednesday than Thursday, especially for those who are actually following radio amateur course to listen in, and they have their lessons on a Thursday. And the second change is that we plan to move around the island and hold a few nets from different QTHs with a bit more sophistication and a bit more participation from people who will be on site. We have arrangements for the first net, but I will not announce them now. We'll announce them later because I still need a confirmation on some technical issues. So the first net we're planning, unless things change, will be held from a specific QTH with a live video stream. Rather than having the slideshow, there'll be a live video stream from the shack on this particular QTH. But this will be confirmed later via Facebook posts and the mail shots, and which we communicate regularly with. Back to Jerry. Yeah, by the way, this is not just my doing. There are several other people involved in this, which we will all acknowledge on the day. And there's also N7 APW's finger in it, because it's something which he had suggested, and and was welcomed. So there you are. Back to the net. This is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha.
Very good, Anthony. 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha. I don't know what's wrong with me. This is November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey. What's the 9H-HAM GlobalNet? Surely I shouldn't forget your call sign, or mine for that matter. Thank you very much for all that. So the first net, or the next net that we're going to hold, is going to be in 2026, and it will be the first Wednesday of January, which happens to be January the 7th. So the first net, or the next net that we're going to have, it's not going to be New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, which both happen to be 2 weeks away from today, but it's going to be on January the 7th, which is a Wednesday, at 8 p.m. on the same connections. Right now, our connections are through C4 FM and through the 9H1 DMR-L node on Echolink. And of course, you can hear us as well, but not participate as far as talking on the net, on the 9H-HAM GlobalNet, which happens to be a live feed, and then afterwards it turns into a recording that may be more convenient for some people to hear at another time. This is November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey. I'll take a pause. I hope I covered that one right, Anthony, and we'll go from there. November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey. Okay, continuing. I would like to thank a special thank you to Mark, 9H1GP, and Marco for all the help that they've given us over the years so that the 9H-HAM GlobalNet would be successful and continue for, I think, Anthony, it's over 4 years. It seems that the connection between 9H1 UHF and Echolink has been down for a few months now, and I don't anticipate it coming back up. So people locally who have a VHF and UHF radio can't just check into the net at this point in time with their VHF or UHF radio. But we're working hard, and we've been offered support to make that happen again, because the more the merrier. And of course, not everybody has DMR, and not everybody has a digital C4 FM radio, but a lot of people have an analog VHF and UHF radio. So that kind of opens the access to this net, which we really want because the more it's accessible, the more the ability to participate and enjoy it. This is November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey. So I enjoy the net, obviously, but I encourage everybody to listen to the recording of the net on YouTube so that you can get the updates that are being announced on the 9H-HAM GlobalNet. Anthony has also offered to put some text messages, or I believe they're text messages, both on the 9H1 UHF channel on YouTube and on the Facebook channels for the clubs, so that everybody who refers to the Facebook pages or the 9H-HAM channel on YouTube will have, hopefully, updated information as to changes, just like Anthony has announced a few minutes ago. And we'll keep in touch that way in the meantime. And then when everything is set up and everything is tested, we'll start using a slightly different system, but one that's effective and hopefully will give us the coverage or more coverage than we've had before. But I really would like to thank Mark and Marco for all the work and all the patience and all the text messages and phone calls that they received from us, so that Echolink would be linked to the 9H1 UHF repeater, and that way we can have that link available as well. And I wish them success, and I wish everybody who has ever attended the net very great, happy holidays. I think I've said enough now, and this is November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey. Okay, I want to know what everybody's drink is. Are there any other check-ins for the net this evening? Anything else for the net, Anthony? 9H5FA and 7APW. 9H-5FA and 7APW. Do you have anything to add to the net this evening? I see Anthony connected, but I haven't heard back from Anthony at this point in time. I would like to give another pause for any check-ins or anything else for the net before we close the last net for 2025. This is November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey. Okay, hearing nothing, I would like to thank everybody who has participated in our net over the year for your participation. I would like to wish everyone happy holidays and remind everybody that our next net is going to be on January the 7th at 8 p.m. Same places. And we may have some additional announcements between now and then. So whether you check a Facebook page or whether you check the 9H-HAM GlobalNet channel on YouTube, please check it at least once between now and then, just in case there are any other changes. But the plan is to hold the next net on Wednesday, January the 7th, 2026, and I'll have to get used to writing that. And until then, all the best wishes. I hope you enjoy the holiday season. We wish you the best of health and a smile or two, and we will see you then. I'll take a short pause, and then I'll close the net. November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey. Alrighty, hearing nothing, I will close the 9H-HAM, the last 9H-HAM GlobalNet net for 2025, and we'll see you next year. This is November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey, with the 9H-HAM GlobalNet clear.
Yeah, from G3T2M. Hello, Jerry. You copy me okay over?
We copy you okay. Good evening to you. Happy holidays to you and your family. I just closed the net, but that doesn't mean we can't say hello. And I think Anthony is still around as well. I hope you all are doing well, and I'll pass it over back to you. G3TZM and 7APW.
Yeah, Roger 9 N7APW from G3T2M. Okay. Yeah, we've been out again today. It's been a very, very busy week this week. We've been out on Tuesday up to Stafford, which is about an hour and a half's train journey away, to visit a railway driver friend of ours and his girlfriend, and we went out for a meal. Yesterday evening we were out with one of the railway station supervisors and his wife, and we went out for a meal with them because we haven't seen them for a while, and catch up on all the usual. And today another one, a friend of ours who retired from the railway recently, moved and bought a house down in Devon, in a town called Newton Abbot, and he came up just for the day to be with us for lunch. We went to a pub that's on a railway station. The station building's closed a long time ago, and they made a pub and a restaurant out of it, and he's never been there, although he's been past thousands of times on the train up and down, because he was managing the line, that particular railway line. And so he came up and we went there for a meal, and then back into Birmingham for a few beers on the way home. And then tomorrow it's Margaret's birthday bash, although her birthday isn't until Saturday. Then on Saturday we're on a train trip, on a special train going all the way up to Manchester with a whole load of other people, and the train crew are the drivers and the guards and that are all friends of ours as well. So that's going to be a really hectic and fun day with G3.
That sounds wonderful. As you well said, quite a busy week. We're trying to avoid the crowds here now. Bear in mind, we live in a town of 18,000 people, so the only place that crowds really exist are at one of the big box stores that we have in town, and people drive even up to 60 or 70 miles to come to the store on a regular basis to do shopping. And so now you add the element of the holiday season, and for one week in the year, which happens to start around this coming weekend, people will have problem finding a parking spot in the huge parking lot right outside the big store. I can only imagine what it's like in bigger cities. Of course, I've lived in a bigger city, but having lived up here for 22 or 23 years, you tend to forget a lot of that, which is very good. Well, I'm happy to hear that. Unfortunately, I can't stay very long. I have a call to make to a doctor's office who said, we need you to call us, as opposed to we'd like you to call us, but we'll address that in a few minutes after you and I say hello. And I'll pass it back to you. It sounds like a nice way to spend your week. Very well indeed. G3TZM and 7APW.
Roger, and 7APW from G3TZM. Yeah, and then on Sunday we're going away to stay, and then Monday we're in Portugal and to our daughter's place. Our youngest daughter lives in Portugal, and she has done for about a few years now, and she bought a place, bought a wreck of a house about 2.5 years ago, and it's finally been finished. She's made a beautiful job of it, and well, the builder has, but you know, with her foresight and a good architect, etc., the place has come nice. You know, it's really lovely. So we're looking forward to that. Lots more train rides in Portugal, and then they've got a new metro as well, which goes to the village, goes to a village about 10 minutes away from her place, so that we're going to use that as well for the first time. It's brand spanking new, so that should be good. Okay, well, I'll leave you to it and let you get off and get your call, and say happy Christmas to you, because I probably won't be on much. I might be on from Portugal. I don't know. We'll see how we go. But 73, and thanks very much for giving us a shout, and apologies for being late and missing the net. And 7APW from G3TZM Saha.
Okay, very good, Bill. It's always nice to hear your voice and catch up on what's going on. And my wife's son and daughter are gonna show up here with their families somewhere in the beginning of next week and spend a couple of days and celebrate the festive season. And that's always very enjoyable. And we look forward to that. It looks like the weather is going to cooperate this time. But yesterday we had high winds for about a whole day, up to 80 miles an hour at times. They were all gusts, but still, a gust is a gust, and it could create all sorts of havoc. So, happy Christmas to you and your family, and all best wishes for the new year. And if you're on from Portugal and my radio is on, I'll definitely hear you on DMR. Take good care of yourself and enjoy life. And I'm glad to talk to you today. G3TZM and 7APW. Have a good evening.
G3TZM. Okay, Jerry. Thanks again, and we'll catch up with you. Daughter's got a satellite connection for the internet from her house, which is extremely good and very fast. So we've used it before, and I'll give it a whiz and see how we get on. And in fact, we've actually got a Maltese couple for dinner with us on Christmas Day. So I'll be able to practice what little Maltese I have still. Cheers, and thanks again. We'll catch up with you in due course. G3TZM. Ciao, ciao.
Very good. Very good indeed. Sahabil Leila Tayyip and 7APW.
Saha.
GT3 for them and 9H-HAM. Abel Titla. Is the satellite service being used with Starlink? The Starlink service. It's the first time I've actually heard someone who's actually got experience of it. But talk about this some other time. Company and 73 GTZM or 9H-HAM.
He's gone. At least I don't see him on Echolink. You should have broken in, Anthony. Was I that fast on the microphone? I hope not. But a lot of people use it over here, and it is Starlink. And in fact, interestingly enough, and this is another discussion, but interestingly enough, Starlink has partnered with one of the cell phone services to have satellites at certain cell sites to provide connectivity, internet connectivity, because they can't get it otherwise. So we were talking about how rural it is over here. This cell phone company, it does not have continuous coverage, and what they're doing is building the towers, and then instead of linking them line of sight, they're getting the data part of it off of Starlink. And now they can guarantee connectivity, because after all, the phone service is voice over IP. They get the connectivity in areas that they couldn't offer before, and now they can say that they will have continuous connectivity. And I think that's a good idea. 7APW.
And 7APW, 9H-HAM. I think I would expect the Starlink service, though, would be fairly more expensive than a normal fiber optic service, right? Back to the net, this is 9H-HAM.
I don't know all the details, but you have to buy their equipment. You can't lease it, you have to buy it. And so if you're deciding to go with satellite internet service, then you have to buy the equipment, which is not cheap. But then the service is starting to become competitive, at least here, with a regular ISP giving you fiber connection. And so now the question is, do I really want satellite and to pay for the equipment, and if I don't like it, I'm stuck with it. After that, it's almost 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. I actually have a friend who subscribes to it at home, and he almost, not quite, but he almost has the same throughput that I have through fiber. And he bought it before fiber came to the house here where I live. But I see now that they've fine-tuned the system that I subscribe to anyway, and the throughput was where it should be, because it wasn't. 9H-5FA and 7APW.
And 7APW, 9H-5FA. Yeah, I don't know anyone who's using it locally in Malta, though the service is available. To my knowledge, it's available. At least the satellites are often seen crossing over the island. In a little train of white lights. Yeah, it would be good to know how efficient it is. There are pretty good reviews of it online. So, and it's excellent because you can be in the middle of a desert and have an internet connection. I know that some ships are using it, especially cruise liners, in order to provide internet to the passengers. But that's all I know at the moment. 7APW, this is 9H-5FA.
Yeah, I've always wondered, because planes should have it, or maybe they do, while crossing large bodies of water, the Atlantic, the Pacific, the big bodies of water. Right now, they're still actually using HF as well, but I'm pretty sure that they're not just dependent on HF to give their coordinates and keep an order in the crossing between, let's say, Europe and North America, or South America, or perhaps, North America, the West Coast to Asia. They used to all go over Alaska, but now they don't need to refuel, so the routes have become shorter, or routes, and more efficient, but it's still a long flight. Very good. I have to make a phone call, and I better stop here for now. But thank you for all you do, and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you and your family. 9H-5FA and 7APW.
And 7APW, 9H-5FA. I think we can close the net, Jerry. Just me and you, and yeah. So go ahead and make your phone call, and thanks for all you do. And we'll keep in touch. This is 9H-5FA.
Well, I actually closed the net a while back, right before Bill came on. And so I did call you, but you didn't come back. So I figured with no one else checking in, I'd close the net. But thank you for everything again, and we'll talk soon. And we'll keep in touch as well. 9H-5FA and 7APW.
And 7APW, 9H-5FA. Sorry, Jerry, I did leave the room for a minute. So it must have been during that slot. I didn't realize. But so but go ahead, and thanks a lot, and we'll keep in touch. This is 9H-5FA going clear.
Okie dokie, الليلة طيب. نتكلموا مندوموش. 9H-5FA and 7APW.
73.